Welcome to today's tale in the Ancient Irish Tales. We are in the Ulster Cycle, and this one is the first story in the Ulster Cycle called The Birth of Conchobar. Okay, today we look into the birth of Conchobar. Woohoo! If we attempt to arrange the material of the Ulster Cycle in its traditional order, we come first upon a group of narratives dealing with the births of several of the leading personages. There are certain facts in life that every hero that the folk feel they are entitled to know. Among those are, well, his birth, his marriage, and of course, his death. Birth stories, though naturally coming first in the traditional chronologically, are usually later in date of composition than the stories dealing with the hero's mature achievements. The birth of Conchobar exists in, well, two versions, of which at least one was composed as early as the 8th century. According to the oldest account, Conchobar, who figures as the king of Ulster in, well, most ancient Irish tales, was a son of Nessa, princess of Ulster, by Cathbad, the official druid of the Ulster court. Both in saga and in annals, Conchobar is represented as having been born on the same day as, well, the Christian Jesus. Did they steal that from the Irish? I'll leave you to decide that. And it is said that although the stagnation of his mother, he displaced Fergus MacRoll, the rightful king of Ulster, and reigned in his steadfast. Although he appears at times cruel and unscrupulous, he is generally represented as a brave warrior and a just ruler. Now the story. Conchobar Nessa was the son of Cathbad the druid, or as some say, the king of Ulster. He was a great and admirable king, and well indeed he might be, for the hour of his birth was the hour of the Christian Jesus. For 7 years before his birth, he had the prophets foretold that the same night that Jesus would be born of a noble chief should be born in Arran. And this is the prophecy of his father, Cathbad, on the night in which he was born to his Nessa wife. We have to remember that all these prophecies can be recounted and put to the narratives of the day. For example, the Vorgu's prophecy can be recounted into what's going on today or what went on, say, 50, 100, 1,000 years ago. So you really have to take the prophecies as kind of a grain of salt based on the time period they were written and everything like that and what was going on then. So, this is the prophecy. O Nessa, thou art in peril. Let everyone rise at thy birth giving. Beautiful is the colour of thy hands. O daughter Echlord yellow heel, be not sorrowful, O wife. Ahead of hundreds and of hosts of the world will he be thy son. The same precious hour to him, everyone will praise him forever to the day of doom. The same night he will be born, heroes will not defy him. As hostage he will not be taken. It is in the plain of Innis thou would bear him. Upon the flagstone in the meadow, glorious will be his story. He'll be the king of grace. He'll be the hound of Ulster, who will take privileges of kings. Awful will be thy disgrace when he falls. Conchobar his name. Whereso call him, his weapons will be red. He will exile in many roots. There will be find his death in avenging. Clear will be the track of his sword over the slain plain of Lame. Conchobar was called from from the name of his mother, Nessa. But her name in the beginning had been Elsa, docile or gentle. And it was on this manner that it was changed to Nessa, ungentle. And it was on this manner that it was changed to Nessa, ungentle. She was the daughter of Eckred Yellowheel, king of Ulster, and by his desire she had been trained up by 12 tutors, in whom she was ever docile and full of teachableness. But in one night the entire number of her tutors fell on the hand of Cathbad the druid. For from the southern part of Ulster went a raid of Arran with 3 times 9 men, and was a man of knowledge and of druidical skill. Moreover, he was well endowed with great body and strength. Now, the girl had no knowledge who they were and who had slain her guardians, but from that moment she turned woman warrior, and with her company set out to seek another of the deed. In every district of Arran she destroyed and plundered, so that her name was changed to Nessa. After that, because of her greatness and her powers of her valor, once upon a time she had gone upon a quest to the wilderness, and her people were preparing food. And seeing a clear and beautiful spring water, the maiden went off to bathe. Now, while she was bathing, Cathbad passed by and saw her. And while he bared his sword above her head, and stood between the maiden and her dress and weapons. "Spare me," she cried. "Grant me 3 requests," replied the druid. "They are granted. I speculate that thou be loyal to me, and that I have thy friendship, and that for as far as I live thou wouldst be mine and only wife. It is better for me to consent than to be killed by thee. And my weapon is gone," said the maiden. "Then their people will be united in one place." And in Faber hour Cathbad proceeded into Ulster, and the father of the maiden made them welcome, and gave them land, namely Rathcolber in the county of Pix, near the river Conchobar in the Carruth. By and by she bore him a son, namely Conchobar in Conrus. By and by she bore him a son named Conchobar. Conchobar took the boy to his bosom, and gave thanks for him, and prophesied to him that it was then that he uttered this lay: "Welcome, the stranger that has come here. They have told it to you he will be a gracious lord, the son of gentle Cathbad, the son of gentle Copper and Nessa the young, above the fortress of Bag Macbrat, my son and my grandson. My son and my grandson, grand ornament of the world. He will be king of Rathlin, and he will be a poet, and he will be generous. He will be a poet, and he will be generous. He will be the head of warriors beyond the sea, my little bird from the Berg, my lamb. Welcome."